Hello there YouTube, and welcome to a video. This is Ali from Nizami, and today I will be teaching you how to make a basic intro in Cinema 4D. So let me make this clear. This is a basic intro, and you'll have to use Cinema 4D for this. If you know how to make intros and you're still watching, I advise you keep watching. You might pick up some tips along the way. So anyways, let's get started. So once you've got your Cinema 4D open, first of all we're going to go to the render settings. So get them started first. You want to go output, and you want to go film and video, HD TV 1080 29.97. I use this. It gives stunning results. Put the resolution to, like, I don't know, 1080. You don't have to, but yeah, whatever. So we can exit out of this now. We're okay for the moment. So now if we go to the light menu and get a floor, so now we've got a floor. If we go and get a sky as well, so now we have a floor and sky. So if we render this out, it's, you know, bad contrast. It's just got this horrible floor and this horrible, you know, break line between the sky. So we can sort this out pretty easily. So what's going to do, if we go to the sky and click use color, and actually no, sorry, don't do that, no. Okay, so if we go grab a light, and if we make it go really high, so drag the light up, and you can see we get this nice contrast now. Then if we right click on the sky and go to Cinema 4D tags, compositing, and then click scene by camera off, so make scene by camera unchecked. So now we've got this nice work plane that we're going to be working with. So it doesn't look that great at the moment, but it will look quite nice when we're finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my overhead view, and so I can see where the light's going to give shadows, and I'm going to move it down a bit so it's kind of, you know, giving light to the center, which is where our text is going to be. So yeah, so then we're going to go get some text. So if we head on up to MoGraph and select MoText, or text object if you're using an earlier version of Cinema 4D. I'm using R12 currently, Studio. So yeah, so then you're going to type whatever you want. I'm just going to write tutorial for this. I'm going to make the depth about 80, and then I'm going to just choose a nice font to go with it. Okay, we have a lot of fonts, so it's going to take a while to load. So I'm just going to go find a font. Let's have a look. Which one? A nice font. I think I'm going to use a font called Gill Sans for this, which gives a nice, you know, block rounded cool effect. Then to make it like not so harsh and like blocky, we're going to go to caps and add a fillet cap and a fillet cap, and then go to the steps and make it about 5, and on the other one 5. You guys can obviously definitely have a play around with this, you know, see what you like. You know, we're not set in stone, all this stuff. You can have a play, definitely. I advise you do. It will make you a better graphics person. So then if we get another light, no, sorry, not another light. It will be a light, but not just a standard light. If we hold in the lights menu and go to area light, and then pull it back so it, you know, surrounds the text and makes it lighter. So now we've got some lighting on our text. And you'll see that little bits of the text are being cut off. That doesn't matter, that's fine. So then we're going to go down here and get some materials. So now I'm actually going to use preset materials, but I'll teach you how to do some materials first. So if you want some like shiny red material, you can get your red color, obviously. And then if you want to go to reflection, do not leave it at 100% brightness, it looks silly. Put the brightness to about 12, and then go to the texture tab and click Fresnel. I believe it gives a nice finish, and put the Fresnel to about 60%. So 10 or 12 and 61. Obviously, have a play, see what you think looks nice. So there we go, there's some nice shiny red. So if we drop this onto the text, you'll see when we render that we got this nice red colour here, and it's pretty shiny. So now to make it reflect off the floor, we're going to get a new material and leave the colour how it is, and just turn on reflection and put it to about 70%, and just leave it there, drag that onto the floor. So now when we render, we're getting some shadow here. Okay, no, not shadow, so we're getting reflection. So now to make this like really high quality lighting, I'm gonna click on the lights, or one at a time, and go to shadow maps soft, and on the other light again shadow maps soft. So you won't be able to see much difference, well you will, but it's kind of softer, it's not as harsh, we've got some nice shadows. So that's our text done. So then what's going to happen is we're going to pull up our render settings again by going to render settings, or hit Control B, and then where it says effect, you're going to get a global illumination, and then change the GI mode to IR plus QMC camera animation, and make the diffuse depth, I don't know, about 2, and the gamma I think for this will work with about 1.8. Obviously play around again, you know, see what you think looks nice, and then go ahead and add an ambient occlusion and make the maximum ray length about 140. Again, play around, but don't make it too high. I wouldn't advise anything above 200, but you can come out of that. And now if you have a preview, it will take longer to render obviously, but once it has rendered, you'll see the difference. It's much more high quality and looks more realistic with the shadows and lighting. So if we just wait a couple of seconds, it will render. And after we do this, I'll show you how to put cameras in and make it, you know, move around and look pretty cool. So it's nearly done. Here we go. So there we have this nice kind of studio look to the text and the floor. So yeah, it's looking good. So it's kind of a nice studio look. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add some cameras. So if we go up to this light menu and click camera, and then click on the camera, so to make sure it's a nice orange, and go up to cameras up here and click scene cameras camera. So now this camera will be recording. So, well, it's not recording. So if we start off about over here, so, and then if we click on the camera and click keyframe, and you can change the frames down here if you would like to, I don't know if you want a longer intro, but I'm just going to stick it with 90. So then I'm going to move along the timeline to about 20 frames, and I'm going to move the camera down about here and hit the keyframe button again. Then I'll move up to about 35 frames, and I'll move the camera so it's looking right at the text and move it over here and keyframe again, and then I'll go to about 65 frames and I will zoom out and around to the text, hit keyframe, and then I'll go to about 80 frames, and then this is where you can add your, you know, ending effect. So I'm going to add a kind of bounce effect, so it's going to zoom in at about 80 frames, keyframe, then at about 87, it's going to bounce right out. So now if we go back to 0 frames and play this, it comes around the text, man, bounces out. So obviously if you want to read the text for longer, you can like get this keyframe right here and delete it, and then you can go back to the spot over here where you wanted it and make this, you know, further up the timeline. But obviously I can't really because I put my other keyframes in place. So if you want to read the text for longer, slower, you know, move the keyframes. This will probably look a bit silly now, but hey, we can give it a go. So now it kind of does it more slowly, so you can actually read it. But yeah, so there's the basic intro roughly. So if we render it out again, oh, you'll see. So one last thing, we're just going to go to the render settings one more time, and in the save tab you're going to select where you would like to save it. So I will just put this into our Nizami tutorials folder, but and then at the end of this video I will make sure the intro that we just did is on the end, so you can see what it will look like. So I'll just call it intro tutorial intro. So I'll hit save. Then I'm going to go to an AVI movie, and I'm going to go to an AVI movie, and then that's all pretty much set. So make sure your global illumination and ambient occlusion are on for much better results, and then you can hit this little button here to render it out. But yeah, so that's it really. So oh, actually no, one more thing. In your render settings, where it says output, you want to make the frame range all frames. So that will say, look, 0 to 90, so they're all my frames. Make sure to do that. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. Please comment, like, rate, subscribe, whatever. If you dislike the video, please tell us why and we'll try and improve. But other than that, thanks for watching this video. This is Ali from Nizami, and stay tuned for more tutorials. Thanks.